keeping you up to date with the latest in science fiction on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. It's the news with Matt Miller.
Welcome. It's Friday, the 9th of April, 2021. Can you buy me a coffee, please? Or sign up for membership to support the Trekzone anthology series that's coming in 8 weeks. Support Trekzone at the Trekzone/support. Now, let's dive in. First Contact Day saw a huge event hosted by Paramount Plus on Monday. We were given glimpses of the next seasons of Discovery, Picard, and Lower Decks, plus Prodigy unveiled our captain. But she's no captain anymore. Catherine Janeway will appear in the animated series on Nickelodeon as a command training hologram aboard a derelict Federation starship that our motley crew discover in the Delta Quadrant of 2383. We don't yet know what this ship is, why it's on the other side of the galaxy, or even how our main cast get together. Appearing on a Trekzone conversation earlier this week, the Trek geeks noted that the Janeway artwork revealed a lack of rank pips, probably coinciding with what we know of holograms in Starfleet service. Meanwhile, we got a very exciting teaser for Picard's second season, which has faced numerous delays, especially brought on by the pandemic that shut down Hollywood mid last year. While we didn't see anything of the actual season, given that they have only very recently begun filming, what we got was a little bit exciting. An extended view over Picard's chateau that we saw last season and into his study gave us some very exciting visuals to pick out, and we spotted these Easter eggs. We open with Picard's monologue about time being the true final frontier. We're greeted with an antique clock, and then focus pulls to the ancient Valhalla tablet from the Deep Space Nine episode The Reckoning. In that episode, Sisko smashes the tablet, which releases a Par-Wraith and a Prophet, who inhabit Jake Sisko and Major Kira respectively. The two beings fought it out on the promenade to a draw after that bloody Kai Wynn intervened. The camera continues moving to the mantle. A painting of the Enterprise D adorns the wall above, and as Picard talks about history, we focus on the Galaxy-class starship. Could this be alluding to the TNG character cameos? We'd love to certainly see Gates McFadden. A copy of Paradise Lost by John Milton sits on Picard's desk. Could this be alluding to the DS9 episode of the same name? A dark, sinister plot to overthrow Starfleet. Certainly some DS9 references peppered throughout here. The Stargazer sits at the corner of the desk too, another nod to the past. Near to an hourglass travelling in reverse. Have we got time travel at play this season? And we finish the trailer on an antique chessboard and a deck of cards. A lone card sits face up, the Queen of Hearts. It blips away in the best traditions of Marvel to just the letter, and we hear a familiar voice tell us the trial never ends. And with a maniacal laugh, Q is back. It certainly will be an interesting season. This teaser is packed full of things we could stand here and overanalyze about until the cows come home, but it's probably best to wait and see what happens. We can't forget Discovery and Lower Decks 2. Trailers for both their new seasons were released on Monday. Starting with Discovery's 4th season, we're greeted with new uniforms again, but these are much bolder and brighter and colourful than the greys of last season. The crew stands out from the bulkheads now and embraces the roles that they're thrust into in the 32nd century. Burnham's in charge, taking the centre seat finally, probably 3 years after she should have. There's a big bad science anomaly out there that's 5 light years across. Discovery has to solve that mystery while getting the Federation back together. Plenty of action and excitement in this upcoming season. I just hope they don't need to resort to another big bad that's only targeting our crew again. We also got a glimpse of Lower Decks' second season and confirmation of a third coming in quick succession. The decidedly more hyped up 30-second spot shows our main cast on the Cerritos facing all manner of creatures, including a Magatu and a Medusa-like creature. Ensign Rutherford has another cybernetic implant. That'll be interesting to hear about, since his original one was ripped off last season. Then we catch up with Boimler on the Titan as Riker takes them deeper into peril with his classic whimsicalness. I love a bit of whimsicalness. That season will drop on the 12th of August, and I'm guessing it'll kick off another 30 weeks or so marathon of Star Trek. Last year, an early petition to have LeVar Burton assume hosting duties on Jeopardy following Alex Trebek's passing in November got started, now steam seems to be building, with several Star Trek alum throwing their support behind the Enterprise D and E's chief engineer. Jonathan Frakes, Brian Fuller, Anson Mount and George Takei have all tweeted their support, and Dick Van Dyke, David Alan Greer and even Stephen Colbert have echoed the support. Sony Television has been running guest hosts to fill the roster through the summer, with no comment as to their future intentions into the US fall season. Burton is no stranger to hosting a television series with 21 seasons of Reading Rainbow under his belt, and as of recording, the Change.org petition has over 204,000 signatures. Phew. What a week on Trekzone. Our full playthrough with no commentary of Judgment Rights got it all started. Michael Davis beamed in to chat about last week's Aussie Space Forum. Dr. Brad dropped by with details of a pristine comet and an Aussie Space Command. The Trek Geeks were here to help me wrap up all the juicy tidbits from First Contact Day and yesterday. Colonel Mark Vanderhei, yes, a real-life astronaut, beamed in to chat about his upcoming mission to the space station as part of Expedition 64. Next week, we're back diving through the archive twice a week. Dr. Brad with more science and space news. We dive into the Voyager documentary and that pristine comet 2I Borisov. Plus, we'll kick off Supernova Week on Saturday with a special edition of the news. So don't miss a moment. Ring the bell and subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe even to our podcast feeds on your favorite podcasting app to catch us on the go. And of course, follow Trekzone on Twitter.
Keep up to date with Twitter. Catch new podcasts daily on YouTube. Plus, we're beaming to your favorite podcast app 5 days a week. Just search for Trekzone and subscribe.